Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Samita, consultant physician and assistant professor in the Department of General Medicine at Shadan Institute of Medical Sciences in Hyderabad. So today we are here to discuss about the second wave of COVID which is being hit by a double mutant strain. So what is it and why is it exactly persisting today in India? So this double mutant strain is discovered, no, it's not new today, it is discovered in the December of 2020, mostly in Mumbai. So it is nothing but whenever a virus is trying to stay in the host, it will try to always mutate to try and replicate itself. So when it is replicating, it is sometimes mutating towards an unharmful strains. And when it mutates to a harmful strain, that is when we need to be very cautious because now it has become more contagious. Initially, in the first wave, if a person in the family was infected, the chances of others getting infection was very low. But today, the contagiousness of a virus is so high that we need to stay indoors most of the time because now we know that it is not just droplet spread, but it's airborne spread as well. So that is the reason we are asked to stay mostly indoors, especially people who are on immunosuppressants, who are taking steroids, who are on immunosuppressant tablets, or people who have autoimmune diseases, who are pregnant, and also people who are diabetics. All these people, they are mostly, their immunity is on a lower side. So all of us, along with these people, are at equal risk to get the infection. But these people, these proportion of people, especially when they get infected, complications are higher. What are the complications that we may see in these patients are they may have very severe respiratory disease, they may have a cytokine storm which is nothing but having fever after 7th and 8th day of the illness, having increased respiratory rate, feeling difficulty of breathing towards 7th to 8th day, their SpO2 dropping down below 94%. These are the few things or few warning signs especially we see when people who are already having COVID disease. So initially when the people have disease, there is only period of viremia. So they may have simple fever, mild cough, throat pain, or feeling of sneezing or nasal stuffiness, which usually should subside within 3 to 4 days. But if patient is having persistent fever, high grade fever, of cough is very high and non-remitting, and if they're having breathlessness after 5th day, that is a cause of concern. That is when you need to reach your doctor through teleconsultation and find out what is the next step to do. Remember, always consult your doctor. Always go for a teleconsultation when you feel like you're having symptoms. But do not rush to hospitals, do not rush to centers to get your RT-PCR test done. When you first notice symptoms, first thing you need to do is self-isolate from your other family members and then plan for a RT-PCR test and take your medications only according to doctor's consultation. And also remember, do not take steroids at the initial phase of the disease. When to use steroids is always recommended by doctor, so do not self-medicate. If your symptoms are not improving, if you're feeling that you're having severity of symptoms are increasing, like as I said, respiratory rate going high more than 24, SpO2 dropping down less than 94, or if you're feeling breathlessness, or if the patient is not awake or confused or is not consciously well, or a patient is part of the hand or leg is not working, or patient is having chest pain, all these are the warning signs. You need to talk to your doctor about it. So when the patient develops all these symptoms, it means that he's going into respiratory phase. He may have acute respiratory distress. So follow doctor's advice and accordingly you can see how further course of disease goes. Now, when you're at home, what do you need to do? Do not panic. First thing, do not stress out. So when you're at home, do not panic. Keep your thermometer at hand. Keep a pulse oximeter at home. Keep a blood pressure apparatus at home. If there are any diabetics at home, I also advise you to please keep a glucometer at home. That is blood glucose monitoring device. So these are the few things which can come in handy when you are having disease and when you are talking to a doctor and you need to check all these. So keep these things at home and you can keep a basic paracetamol at home. And other tablets, please only follow according to doctor's advice. And next thing what you have to do is check the thermometer with your thermometer, check your temperature at least 3 times a day. Check your SpO2 after walking for 6 minutes. Why is it so? So when you're resting, your SpO2 should be more than 94. But when you walk for 6 minutes, at the end of the walk, your SpO2 should not drop by 5 units. If it is dropping by 5 units, that means it is important for you to get this information to your doctor. That means your oxygens are not, saturation is not maintaining well. So this is called 6-minute walk test, which is very important. Otherwise, when you're sitting calmly, when you're sitting silently, taking rest and checking your SpO2, for all people without asthma, without bronchitis, your SpO2 should be more than 94. But people with asthma, people with bronchitis, their SpO2 should be more than 92. So these are the things that you need to consider when you're at home. And when you're choosing a room for self-isolation, make sure the room is very well ventilated. And also, if there is a COVID positive patient at home, there is only one family member who should be a caretaker of that positive patient. So make sure when the caretaker is serving food or giving help to the COVID positive patient, he should always do with a double mask with the gloves, and always change the gloves when he's attending non-COVID persons at home. So these are the basic things that people can follow at home, and please do not panic or stress out. And what about people are running after oxygen concentrators and oxygen cylinders? Is it important? I need to stress on it. See, when a patient is requiring oxygen concentrator or a cylinder, it means that he needs supplemental oxygen. Any person who needs oxygen should not stay at home. He should go to a doctor. So this oxygen cylinder comes handy when he's searching for a bed in a hospital. When he's not able to reach to hospital on time, he's not getting the bed availability. That is when this cylinder comes in handy. Until you reach your hospital, this oxygen cylinder can help you. But do not continue to have this oxygen supplementation without doctor's advice. Reach to hospital as quickly as possible. Yes, there are some patients who after discharge might require oxygen at home. That should be done only after doctor's advice. So this is another important thing. And the next important thing is the complications. Once you recover, once the patient get back to home, when patients were in ICU therapy for COVID disease, what are the precautions that you need to do? See, the most common complication as on today that we are seeing is mucormycosis. It is caused by fungal spores. These are present everywhere outside on a damp mud, on moist walls, or also fungus around in the kitchen walls. Usually, these do not harm us. These spores cause infection only when the immunity of a person is very low. And who are these persons at risk? People who have been on oxygen for long term in ICU for COVID treatment, people who were diabetic, people who were taking steroids on a high dose in ICU stay, and their sugars are not very well controlled. These and people who have been on immunosuppressants. These are the people at risk for developing mucormycosis. So, do you need to panic? No. When you reach home after discharge from the hospital, you need to monitor your blood sugars every day. That is very important part. And second thing, you need to be aware of the symptoms. Now, what are the symptoms of mucormycosis? It could be swelling on one side of the face. It could be propping out of your eyes. It could be redness around your eyes. Or it could be pain on one side of the cheek. Or it could be loosening of the teeth or redness of the gums. Or it could be a simple headache, knobbing kind of headache, or pain over your sinuses. These are the symptoms of mucormycosis that you need to know. If you develop any of these symptoms, and also importantly, blurring of vision, or if you are not able to see things clearly, or if there is double vision, there is two things that you are seeing of the same image, these are the symptoms. If you have any of these symptoms, you need to get back to the specialist doctor immediately. Why? Because this mucormycosis starts from the nasal cavities, then spreads to sinuses, then reaches the eyes and then to the brain. So this happens very quickly, and this can be a very nasty disease. If anything like that happens, the fungus will eat away the passages. So only treatment is surgery. We need to remove the part of the tissue that is dead. So if it has spread to sinuses, sinuses have to be cleared. Or if it spreads to the eye may have to be removed. So these are the things that you need to know. So early the disease that you're catching the disease, early can be the treatment. So start picking up the symptoms. Once you know that these symptoms can be a threat of mucormycosis, talk to your doctor, get the treatment at the earliest. So these are the simple tips that you need to know when you're at home, and you need to be very cautious of these symptoms and get back to your doctor immediately. And also, we also see some of the most common complications at home after discharge mostly, especially non-remitting cough. Some patient can have joint pains after discharge, and some patients also complain of memory loss, which is brain fog, and some also have memory related issues. These are the symptoms that we are seeing mostly in post COVID patients. Please do not panic or worry, and get back to your treating doctor if in case you have any of these symptoms. And please do not self medicate at home. Try to talk to your doctor about it. I hope this video will be helpful for you in finding the symptoms appropriately. Thank you and take care.